What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to go over the child tax credit updates. The IRS just released on their news site an update, which is very important. You got to be aware of it. I'm going to show you where to find that, talk to you about the entire tax credit, how it works, who's eligible, the amounts and all that. And also at the very end, if you've got kiddos like this, whether it's your grandkids, your own children, your brother's, sister's kids, or whatever, there is some tax planning ideas that you can do. And I'm going to show you on a 1040, a hypothetical, some things you could do that maybe you didn't think you're going to be eligible for the tax credit, but you do these few things and it might just get you to that extra $3,000, $3,600 per child out there. So make sure you pay attention at the end. I'm going to go over that and show you some really neat ideas with this. Anyway, let's get into this. Here's the website right up here, irs.gov /newsroom. I'm going to take you there in a second, and it's going to go over the update that they just released. And then this other website, you want to take a snapshot of this, irs.gov /child tax credit 2021, 2021. This is where they're going to release updates. And these payments are advanced tax credits are going to start taking place in July. So July 15th is the first payment. And they're going to pay these out, half of the tax credit, over 6 months, the remaining 6 months of this year, starting July 15th, and then it's August 13th, and so on for the rest of the year. But then the last part of it, I believe, is going to come on your tax return. But it's very critical to check these websites out. They are going to have a couple portals coming out that you're going to have access to update. So maybe you've had a new child during the year, you had changes to your income, all that could change to impact how much you're going to get and be eligible. So you want to make sure you're watching for these portals they're going to release. They've been saying they're going to do it, but it hasn't showed up yet. But anyway, some key things for this, and I'm going to show you the website real quick. But this tax credit that they're going to release to people is fully refundable. Now, this is brand new, and this is very important, and it's actually awesome because if you had taxes due of like $2,000, normally the tax credit, child tax credit of $2,000, if you're making under $200,000 single, head of household, or under $400,000 joint, that's adjusted gross income, you would get a $2,000 tax credit to offset that tax. But this, if it gets rid of your tax and you still have leftover child tax care or child tax credit, they're going to give you that money in addition. So let's say you had $5,000 over your taxes that are due in child tax credits. They're going to give you that $5,000 as well. So it's fully refundable. It's not just limited to your taxes on there, which is fantastic. The amounts, as you see up there, $3,600. Under age 6, they're basically going to give you an extra $1,000 on top of the normal $2,000 that you're due, and then $3,000 from age 6 to 17, even if you're turning 17 in 2021, because the old tax credit, you had to be under 17. But even if you turn 17 this year, even on December 31st, bringing in the new year at 17, you're going to be eligible, the child eligible for the tax credit. And again, it's also an additional $1,000 over the 2. And I actually have this incorrect up here. It's 1.6, an additional 1,600. See if I can type this in real quick. There we go, 1.6 extra on top of the 2,000. Excuse me. And then 1,000 on top of the other 2 from 6 to 17. I mentioned the age. Here's the AGI threshold. So this is very important. I'm going to go over this example after I go over these websites here in a second that can help you lower this. If in 2021 it looks like you're going to be over these thresholds, hold on. I got some ideas for you that can still get you eligible for this. Anyway, the 75,000 AGI single, 112,500 head of household, 150,000 joint filers. Anything under that, you're getting the full tax credit. It starts to phase out, as you can see right here, $50 for every 1,000 above these amounts. Basically, you would take 5% of any amount above this 150,000, and that's going to tell you what your phase out is. And basically, it's about $20,000 above those amounts where you completely phase out and do not get them. Also, they're going to, if you don't have your 2020 tax return done yet, they're going to base it on 2019 to pay these out. But again, if it looks like in 2021 you might be over these thresholds and you say, oh my gosh, they're going to start paying this out to me regardless. But then at the end, you got to pay it all back. Again, stick with me. I'm going to show you some ideas here to help you strive to get under these thresholds. Also, even if you're, and I mentioned this a little bit before, if you're over these thresholds, and there's no way with the ideas that I'm going to give you that you can get underneath the thresholds, still at 200,000 or under 200,000 AGI, single and head of household, you're still getting the 2,000 child tax care credit, not child tax care, child tax credit. And then if it's under 400,000 AGI joint, but they're going to give these return or these tax credits instead on your 2021 tax return when you file in 2022. So it's not going to be any advance payments if you're over the thresholds. And I already mentioned 50% of the credit comes from in the form of an advance payment starting July 15th. If you've had new dependents, go ahead and update your W-4s at this website here for withholdings and so forth. But again, you want to pay attention to the portals I mentioned before that are right there, 2 IRS portals that's going to be letting you right here either A, opt out, receiving the monthly child tax credit payments. It's for those who would rather get one large payment next year instead of partial payments throughout December, or, as I mentioned before, if it might be over. The other portal will be for families who don't typically file their tax returns. Help them make sure their information is up to date, including if they gain new independence. Or let's make that new dependence, not independence. Independence is still very, very important. And they're going to send these monthly payments via direct deposit. And one quick note, President Biden wants these to last. I heard this a couple of days ago, until 2025. And, all right, so AGI return. I'm going to go over that. This is the tax return example right after I show you these websites real quick. So here's the IRS notice. Let's pull this up. So you get this up, comes to the irs.gov on here. I'm going to scroll up a little bit, and then we're going to blow this up so you can see this a little bit easier. And right here it says IRS sending letters to more than 36 million families who may qualify for the monthly payment. So you click on that, and it goes through this. So it states, and hopefully this is big enough for you guys to see it up here. It's going to state that the IRS, or Internal Revenue Service, has started sending letters to more than 36 million families who, based on tax returns filed with the agency, may be eligible to receive monthly child tax credit payments starting in July. The expanded and newly advanceable child tax credit was authorized by the American Rescue Plan Act, enacted in March. Letters are going to go to families who may be eligible based on information they included in their 2019 and 2020 federal income tax return, or who use the non-filers tool on irs.gov last year to register for an economic income impact payment. So pay attention to this, because they are going to then send a second letter out that's going to show what your potential check is going to be, your tax credit's going to be, and then those will start paying out on July 15th, like I said, and it's got them right here, July 15th, August 13th, September 15th, October 15th, November, and December. So just make sure that you're monitoring that, the letters, and then also making sure that you're filing your tax return if you haven't. Get it in there sooner. And then there are going to be these other tools coming, like I said, at that website I showed you before, Child Tax Credit 2021. So just be aware of that. And now let's get into this example. So this is very big. You need to definitely be aware of what's going on with your taxes here in 2022. 2021. But this is a sample, a tax return. Our system that we have, oops, let me bring this back up. I'm going to get out of the way so you can see this a little bit better. See if I can do this here. So this guy right here, we have our system that allows us to do these hypotheticals. And again, we're not CPAs, we're not attorneys. We definitely encourage you to talk directly to your CPAs and attorneys about these ideas to make sure we're not missing something. But in our software that we use with our clients, we're able to hypothetically look at what their 1040 is going to be for each year going forward. It's amazing. But this is just showing you a hypothetical where this client making $150,000 is what they're projecting in 2021. They got some interest and dividends paying out about another $6,000. So their total income, $155,734. Adjusted gross income, so this is that key number I was talking to you about right here. Adjusted gross income, which is line 7. And let me get completely out of the way so you can see this. So line 7 right here, adjusted gross income, $155,734. So if we're filing jointly in this return, they would get a phase out. They're going to lose part of that tax credit. Well, how could you get the full tax credit? Well, what you can do, so on our system, we do some projections. What reduces your adjusted gross income? So you come in here under our retirement section, and we can play around with these numbers. And let's just say down here on the bottom, we hit our action items. We scroll down, and we can change all these different scenarios for our clients in here and look at the new projections. So down here, we had Mr. and Mrs. making $75,000 a piece. And then this is part-time income when they retire. We're looking at some ideas there. But right now, they're not making any 401k or IRA contributions. So let's just say we do a little bit, let's say, I don't know, $6,000 401k contribution. You get a little match maybe from your employer. And then Mrs. IRA, she puts in another, I don't know, $6,000 as well. We come in here and hit our refresh button, and we go back to our tax tab after this loads. Let's take a look at their tax situation now. So we go into the details. Wow, look at this. So now their AG or their wages and everything dropped to 144 because they're making contributions into the retirement plan, and they still got their taxable part taxable dividends and interest and stuff here. So their AGI on line 7 right here, line 7 is $143,734. So there you see, because they made these contributions to the IRA and 401k, which I think I've got in here. Yeah, here you go, the IRA deduction. That comes off your income to create your adjustable gross income. So there's some additional things you can do in here too. If you're self-employed, you can do a solo 401k, a SEP, simple. You get a self-employed health insurance deductions, IRA deductions here. So there's other things that you can do. Health savings account is a big one. So if you have a health savings account, that would reduce your adjusted gross income. So at the end, that simple strategy, guys, of making some contributions, getting yourself ready, planning at the end of this year, can get you that full tax credit. Again, double check with your CPA and all that to make sure we're not missing anything there. But that's quick ideas. Greatly appreciate you joining on. Start researching this. Pay attention to those websites. Subscribe to our channel. We'll give you further updates as we get them. And appreciate you joining on, and have a good one. Thank you.
Too many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight.